Welcome back, fanboys and fangirls, to Nerds on Topic. Today's episode is one of the news episodes, so strap in. We're getting things a little bit nerdy.
Ready? Kick it up now!
All right, now I've got a fresh cup of coffee. You may all remember my sultry voice as Kevin, and I am once again your host, and will always be your host. Welcome back to Nerds on Topic. This week we're going to be bringing you all the news you may have missed from this last week from video games, movies, TV shows, anime, and manga. And let's start things off a little simple with video games. If you haven't been paying attention, Nintendo just released another direct for their new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, in which they unveiled they are going to be introducing from Castlevania, Simon Belmont, and from Donkey Kong, King K. Rool. I know a lot of people have been really wanting this, and it's kind of funny. Now they have Mega Man, they have Simon Belmont, Metroid, Kid Icarus. They just need one more person. Captain N, and then they'll be able to do a complete remake of the TV show, what everyone's been wanting for the last 20 years. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a Captain N Mii Fighters costume as DLC. Who knows? In some other Nintendo news, Dragonball Fighters is finally coming to the Nintendo Switch, and there should be a beta going on right now, so if you're all lucky enough, you can hop on there right now and get a feel for that. And, so switching from that, for all you Fortnite fans out there, I hope you're ready because Fortnite's finally getting a mobile version. But starting right now, it's only for Samsung Galaxy S7 and 8, I do believe. So, all you lucky Android users out there, because Apple sucks, I hope you're ready and get on there. I know a lot of you guys want to get your teeth into some multiplayer action. Alright, and those who love Doom, I hope you're excited because at QuakeCon just last week, they unveiled the trailer for Doom Eternal, the sequel to the wildly popular Doom remake, which I haven't played yet, but since it finally came out on Switch, as soon as I have a chance, I'm going to pick it up. And yes, this one is also going to be out for Xbox, PS4, and the Switch. I'm really excited for this. Doom is an amazingly fun, wonderfully gory franchise, but I'm sure all of you already know this. I don't get to play video games a lot, and that's mostly because I'm too broke to have more than one video game system at a time, and then getting video games themselves is not cheap, in my opinion. And I'd rather buy, like a really big meal because I'm kind of a fat ass. Anyways, I love getting into video games even though I don't get to play them that often. I'm really excited for a lot of the stuff coming out, and I have a long list of things I really want to start playing. So moving on from video games, let's get into movies. And starting it off, there has been an announcement that they are going to be doing a Supergirl movie going alongside Birds of Prey, which is going to feature Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker again, even though she's most likely just going to go back to him because they have a terrible, terrible abusive relationship, and she's kind of into that kind of thing. I still prefer her with Poison Ivy, though. That's going to be interesting. I don't think there's been any casting announcements. I don't remember seeing any when I was doing research on this. And yeah, let's see. And those who were really interested in the Cyborg movie, it has not been canceled, even though the lackluster results of the Justice League movie kind of made everyone worried if the DC universe was still going to continue in its cinematic form. But yes, it is. And I'm also super excited for Shazam, which we all saw the trailer for, which looks amazing. I love Zachary Levi, whatever his name is. He's a really good actor. He's a lot of fun. I loved him whenever he was in Chuck. All right, another movie news. Recent releases are The Meg, which is basically Jaws meets Godzilla as a megalodon decides to start terrorizing everybody. It looks like it's going to be so bad it's good kind of thing, which I'm super excited for because that's my favorite kind of movie. Slender Man just came out, another movie I'm really excited to go see. You all know the wonderful urban legends about the Slender Man and the multitude of video games that were released that were super cheap that people loved to watch YouTubers play. What else came out? I went and saw The Darkest Mind, which is basically just a straight up X-Men story. I realized while I was watching it, it was really interesting. I like that each one's based off a power level, and the highest power level being my favorite color, orange. But it was kind of weird how everyone in certain power levels, like the oranges all seemed like they were just mind manipulators. All the reds were fire breathers, stuff like that. It's kind of like constricting, but also really interesting. I'm excited to see that this is probably going to have a couple of more movies in it because it's based off of a book. And that means I have a new summer reading list that I'm going to have to start updating. Another thing, let's see what else is going on. Let's see. For those who like podcasting, Mark Maron has actually been cast as the Joker's original talent agent in the new solo Joker movie, which is really interesting because, Mark Maron's pretty funny and he is a comedian, so it kind of fits with his whole persona, especially with his dark sense of humor. All right, and so been talking a lot about comic book movies. Might as well jump into the comic book news. For those who enjoy reading the Injustice comic books, I hope you're excited because, like I was hinting at earlier, I love Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy together. Well, Poison Ivy just kind of came out that her and Harley got married in Las Vegas with an Elvis impersonator, which is perfect. That I couldn't imagine Harley Quinn getting married to anyone in any other fashion other than extremely cheesy and full of "Oh mama." In a twist of fate in the normal DC continuity, Wally West, who remembers his pre-52 life because, well, he didn't exist in it up until now and was ripped out of the timeline, is not the only one who remembers pre-52. Those who don't know, the New 52 started back in 2011 with a complete reboot of the DC universe after the Flash runs back in time and saves his mama from getting killed. The Reverse Flash followed him and ended up just destroying the entire timeline, resulting in something called Flashpoint, and then that got fixed, and all things returned to normal. Or at least they thought. Everyone got more lines on their costumes and were only superheroes for 5 years. And that's where the DC Universe had been until not too long ago when they decided to start doing the DC Rebirth. Now we have old crises being referenced, and it's really interesting. I'm excited to see what's going on with this. I really enjoy the DC Universe, and Tim Drake is one of my favorite characters in it, other than, Beast Boy and the rest of the Titans. Let's see, what else? DC has been teasing that someone is going to die in the new series, Heroes in Crisis. No one knows who it is, but one of 6 people, the list including possibly Cyborg, and I'm kind of terrified. I really hope they don't kill him. He's an amazing, interesting character and helps round out the Justice League and was one of my favorite members of the Teen Titans back whenever he was still a part of it. I really want to know what's going to go on with that. Moving on, let's go into Marvel news. There's a brand new X-Men series coming out, and it's called Uncanny XMen, which may sound familiar because that was the name of a previous series. Marvel says it's going to be starting out with the writing talents of Ed Brisson, Kelly Thompson, and Matthew Rosenberg, and a slew of artists. The relaunch of the Uncanny X-Men is going to start off with a series, a story arc called Disassembled. And not everyone is going to survive. Man, that seems like it's going to be an ongoing thing for comic books, almost like it's the only way it can actually get people to read anymore. Or at least people that aren't already reading. Because people love collector's issues, because everyone thinks it's going to be worth something in the future, even though we all know it's not. Man, I really wish that they would change things up. Not everyone has to die. I mean, it's too cliche at this point. There's over 100 years worth of comics. Stop just killing people randomly. At least give them something to, die for. I don't know. Anyway, the 5-part series X-Men Extermination seems to have started, and people are saying it's going to be interesting. It's going to possibly change the fate of the X-Men. You know, ever since Disney rebought the movie rights to X-Men and a couple of other franchises that were owned by Fox, it seems like they're starting to finally put them back into comics, which I'm sure a lot of people are really excited for, because the X-Men lately has been kind of weak in the comic book front, because they really didn't want to advertise for another company's movies. Anyways, other Marvel news is, I hope you like weddings, because it seems like that's the only thing going on in comic books right now other than death. In the latest Fantastic Four, it seems that the Thing has proposed to his girlfriend, and she said yes, making it so that there's going to be a wedding event going on. Yay! That's going to sell comics, because that's what people want. Totally. But I'm actually excited, because it's been a while. It's also been a while since we've had anything good that was Fantastic Four, so be that as it may. Alright, moving on to anime and manga news. For those who love Shonen Jump, I hope you're excited, because the wildly popular series right now, The Promised Neverland, has just been announced that it is getting its own anime, which I'm super excited for. I've been reading the manga since chapter 5, and my gosh, I did not expect some of the twists it was throwing at us. It's an extremely dark, very intelligent series that kind of breaks away from the norms of a shonen battle manga, and shows us a more intellectual-based story about a bunch of children who are being farmed for demons. Oh man, it's so good. I'm excited. I can't wait to actually see what it looks like in motion. What else is going on? We were just talking about superheroes not too long ago, and the One Punch Man Season 2 just unveiled its teaser, which I'm so excited for. The first season of One Punch Man was so fun. It was really funny and exciting and had really good animation, as opposed to the amazingly bad but still fun to read original version of the manga, which was a webcomic, actually. Man, I love webcomics. They have such interesting story and have much more freedom than any other form of media. No one to tell them what to do. If only. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress's new browser and smartphone game just got its release date for this fall, which it was a really interesting anime when it first came out. It kind of reminded me of a different version of Attack on Titan, except, more interesting and less flat in everything, because Attack on Titan is not that good. So, going into some other news now, we've got the teaser trailer for Titans, as DC's starting to finally launch its streaming service, which looks really interesting and promising. It's got comic books, it's got movies and TV shows from all different generations of the DC stuff that comes out, because, DC does a lot of movies and whatnot. It's also going to show the original Titans Teen Titans, I should say, cartoon, which I'm a huge fan of and got me into comic books in the first place when I was a kid. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched the Teen Titans Go to the movies, I'd suggest it because it was kind of fun when I went to go see it. And on top of that, the after credit scene, or I should say mid credit scene, shows that the Titans are coming back, hopefully soon, and hopefully on the DC streaming service. We're getting season 6. I'm super excited for that. What else we got going on at the DC streaming service? Has also announced they're doing a Swamp Thing live action show, a Harley Quinn animated TV show. It's going to have a Doom Patrol spin-off of Titans, which is also going to have Cyborg in it. And yeah, so we've got all that going on. Man, you know, I've only been talking for like 16 minutes, but it feels like it's been a lot longer. I think I'm going to cut this all off here. I hope you all enjoyed this bite-sized bit of news, and you can find me on Twitter at KW Comics. You can find me on Instagram at Not Coffee. That's coffee with a K. You can find the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at I keep saying not, at Nerds on Topic. And for those who really enjoy our intro music, that's created by my friend Swa Music on all social media, all Insta media. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Hope you like our show, and hit us up sometime. And remember, this is not the podcast you're looking for.